Hi YouTube, it is Sickle Cell Natural Healing, and today I have been asked to do a video on hydroxyurea, Even Flo, and chlorophyll dealing with sickle cell disease. Now, I have a lot of people who ask me, I'm giving my child hydroxyurea, can I give my child Even Flo? Even Flo is just food, that's it. At the end of the day, it is strictly a food supplement. So the answer is yes, you can give your child Even Flo along with hydroxyurea. Now, the question I ask them is, okay, we know that hydroxyurea is a very strong cancer medication. We know, and we can look this up on the internet. You can Google hydroxyurea side effects if you want more information. We know that it has pages and pages of horrible side effects. We know that it can actually cause cancer. We know that it can mess with the bone marrow. We know that it can actually damage your organs down the road if we continue to take this long term. It's a cancer drug, okay? So we have to first of all know what we're putting into our child's body. If you ask me, will Even Flo be effective? I can't answer that because when you constantly put toxins and chemicals in your body, it may not give Even Flo a fair chance to work. Simple as that. Now, when someone asks me that question, I say, yes, you can. But I turn around and ask them this question. If there is a supplement that you can take where your child does not have any more crises and be the healthiest that they can be, why not just give them Even Flo and not hydroxyurea? And just to give them something to think about. You know, when they come back and they think about it and they say, you know, that's true. We've just been conditioned in our minds to believe what the doctors are telling us. I get it. I have a child with sickle cell. My son suffered at the age of 1, multiple crises, blood transfusions. I've been down the road. I've been where you are. So I get it. I know how it feels. I know when you're scared, you want to do the best for your child. You want to help your child. But at the end of the day, it's still our responsibility to understand the things that we're putting into our kids' bodies. So what my suggestion would be is to kind of wean your kids off of all this stuff and just start taking God's medicine cabinet, which the Even Flo and the chlorophyll. So how do you wean off? Now, if you've been giving your child a narcotic every day, you don't want to stop that cold turkey. Because if you stop narcotics cold turkey, you can go through a serious withdrawal that is not going to be very pleasant. So you want to wean yourself off of narcotics. Of course, years ago, I remember myself having to take Percocet and hydrocodone every day. I have the trait, and I was in some type of excruciating pain, and every single day for 9 months, I took narcotics. And I can remember stopping cold turkey. Now, that was only for 9 months, and I can just remember kind of feeling a little irritable. So I can't imagine if somebody's been on there for years, you want to slowly come off of that. So if you're used to taking 5 or 6 narcotics a day, go down to 3 a day, okay? For the next 3 days. Then go down to 2 a day for the next 3 or 4 days. And then go down to 1 a day for the next few days. And then eventually just kind of come off slowly, okay? For hydroxyurea, I've talked to several people all over the world. I've never had anybody to have a bad effect of stopping hydroxyurea cold turkey. But again, I want to say that if you have that fear, then just do the same thing. Just lower your doses, just lower it every day, and just kind of go down till you eventually come off of it. Okay, that's what you can do. Now, I will tell you this, that mostly everybody will experience. When you've been putting chemicals and toxins in your body for so many years, and now you want to start some herbs, natural things, your body will detox. There's no way around that. Your body is going to detox. Now, what does detox entail? So when you start taking herbs, those herbs' jobs is to get the toxins out of your body that's been built up over years. So your body will start to release these toxins once you start taking the Even Flow, the chlorophyll. If toxins are released too quickly, then you may feel extremely tired. You may feel irritable. You probably have trouble sleeping. You may have slight stomach pains. You may have mild muscle and joint pains. This is the detox phase. It's completely normal and you have to go through it. So just be aware that you could experience this. A lot of people I talk to never experienced it. Because if toxins are released slowly, well, then you won't feel anything. Just if they are released too quickly, then you can start feeling a certain way. But it's okay. It's a normal process. You have to go through it. You want to get the toxins out of your body. You want to clean your body up. You want to detox all these chemicals out of your body. So that's the one thing to keep in the back of your head if you are switching off of the Western meds and going strictly to natural things. Now, my son has not had a crisis in 8 years. I never put him on a hydroxyurea because once I read all the bad side effects, I could not see giving my child a cancer medication. So he was never on it. He probably took a few hydrocodones back a long time ago when he was having crises at the age of 1. He mostly had splenic sequestration crises. He had a couple of pain crises in his legs. So he didn't have to take a lot of hydrocodone, but yet he did whenever he was in pain. So he's been taking herbs for 8 years now. So his body is completely detox. You know, he's completely used to taking the natural supplements. So if you're feeling a little uneasy, I don't want you to feel that way. Always know that Even Flow is just food. Okay, it's food. That's it. You can take it with medications. It's completely fine. But at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to get our kids off of the Western medication and get them all on the natural supplements. Get them all on God's medicine cabinet, because Ezekiel 47:12 tells us the leaves are our medicine. So God has already given us everything we need to sustain our health. And I'm not just saying that because my son hasn't had a crisis in 8 years, but all the thousands and thousands of people all over the world who's taken Even Flow in Africa, Canada, the US, the UK, the Caribbeans. I mean, all parts of the world, kids are only taking Even Flow and they have not had any more crises. Now, I'm going to talk about infections and antibiotics. My son took penicillin for a very, very short time. I think after 6 months I stopped. Because one thing about antibiotics, okay, they will get rid of all the bad bacteria in the gut, but it also strips away all the good bacteria in the gut as well, which we don't want to do that. We need to have good bacteria in our gut. When your gut is not healthy, it opens up the door for a lot of different illnesses and sickness and infection to come in and invade the body. If you notice people that are taking penicillin, they still get infections. They still get sick because their immune system is extremely low. I give my kids natural antibiotics. My kids never get sick. My 7-year-old had the flu for the first time in his whole life. Never had a fever, never get sick, because I give them natural antibiotics that keep their immune system strong. And when your immune system is strong, it's hard for things to come in and attack the body. So what are natural antibiotics? Healing Blends Global, who makes Even Flow, also makes a supplement called Virid, VIRID. This is great natural antibiotic to keep the immune system strong and keep infections at bay. You also have vitamin C. When my son got the flu 6 months ago, I gave him 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C every hour. And I did say every hour. Vitamin C is water soluble, so it goes right through you, but it kills an infection just like that. Now, my son is 7 years old. I also gave him 1 garlic capsule every hour and 1 oregano every hour. Monday, I picked him up with the flu. Tuesday, the fever broke. Wednesday, he was back in school. Just that quick. Just that quick. Now, the question, can I give Even Flow if I'm giving my child hydroxyurea and penicillin? Yes, you can. Even Flow is just food. Will it work? I cannot promise you that. Again, you're putting toxins in the body, and then you're eating, you're giving a natural supplement. It's kind of like doing meth during the day and trying to eat kale and broccoli at night. It's just not going to work. It's too strong of the chemicals going in the body. So I cannot promise you that you will see results like I've seen in my child. Can you wean your child off of the Western drugs and start giving your child the natural plants that the body was meant to have? You most certainly can. You can. And I know there's a fear. I get it. I get questions all the time from people all over the world. But you just have to know and believe and trust that Even Flo is an amazing supplement. And before I end the video, let me kind of talk to you about how Even Flo works so you can kind of understand. Now, plants and herbs treat root cause. Western drug treats symptoms. Now, what we want to do in life is treat the root cause. We don't want to treat symptoms, because when you treat symptoms, you're not getting to the root of the issue. If you notice, when you're treating symptoms, your child probably is still sick. But when you treat the root cause, you're going to actually get in there and stop the whole thing from happening. So in sickle cell, the red blood cells dies off every 10 to 20 days. That means their body cannot keep producing red blood cells. It can't keep up. So a person that does not have sickle cell red blood cells lives 120 days. So their body has plenty of time to make new red blood cells. But in sickle cell, they die off so fast. And what happens is the blood gets stuck, cannot produce blood. That's when the chronic pain happens, the strokes, the organ damage, and death. So when you take Even Flo consistently on a daily basis, it's going to keep the body naturally producing normal, healthy red blood cells. Okay? So if your body is producing red blood cells on a daily basis like it should, it's going to be very, very hard for a crisis to set in. So that's how Even Flo works. It also helps increase oxygen in the body, and it also helps raise hemoglobin, you know. Now, the one thing I want to warn you, hydroxyurea was created to increase fetal hemoglobin. So if you're on hydroxyurea, you may see your hemoglobin 10, 11, you know, that's its job. It does that. But Even Flo, it will increase your hemoglobin. Now, I know some people taking Even Flo, their kids' hemoglobin is 9, some 8. Aiden, when I used to take him to the hematologist years ago, and he was on Even Flo, his hemoglobin would always be somewhere between 7.2 and 8.4, which is still good. So don't get depressed or down if you start the Even Flo and your child hemoglobin went from 9 to 7. It's nothing wrong with that. You always want to look at the retic count. Look at, is the body producing red blood cells? That's the question to ask a doctor. Don't get hung up and focus on hemoglobin. You want to know, is my child body producing red blood cells like it should? And if that answer is yes, then everything is okay. As long as the body is producing those red blood cells, that's the thing that we want to really focus in on. Now, okay, you don't want to have a hemoglobin of 4 and 3 now. Okay, that's going to be dangerous. But I just want to let you know, if you probably will see a decrease in the hemoglobin, but don't get so caught up in that number. Make sure the body's producing the red blood cells. Okay, that is my information today for hydroxyurea and Even Flo and weaning off and how to implement. So if you have any more questions, you can visit my website, www.ssnaturalhealing.com.